Consumer Protection Act with respect to your own practices, because all of us are consumers of services, we all buy equipment. So with respect to your office premises, be aware that the Act limits the duration of any agreement, fixed term agreement, to 24 months. There are pros and cons, because if you're setting up practice in an area which is situation dependent, you specifically want to be in that particular environment because there's a lot of passing trade. It's across the road a psychiatric facility or whatever, and you're building your practice or have built your practice in relation to that locality. In terms of the Act, it's only 24 months, unless it can be shown that a longer period is exclusively for the benefit of the consumer. So there is sort of some redress there. But it is a problem, and SAPOA, South African Property Owners Association, have engaged with government, with the Department of Trade and Industry, to say, look, it's problematic, because how do we fund buildings and shopping centres if we cannot have long-term lease agreements? But from a professional context, it's an issue in respect to premises. To the extent that you buy equipment, and we all buy fax machines and photocopiers and et cetera, there's now strict liability. If the equipment malfunctions within 6 months of purchase, at your option, you're entitled to a refund or repair. You're not obliged to accept repair, because I want a brand new one, and that's it. If it's defective or not suitable for the purpose for which you bought it. You can't say, no, I want to return this computer because the later model has just come out, and I prefer the later model. A lot of people have tried that. That's not what the Act provides. It's got to be defective or not suitable for the purpose for which it was purchased. So if the ECT equipment you bought keeps short-circuiting, which would be disastrous, I assume, you can demand a full refund for that. Also with regard to cell phone contracts and gym contracts, and if some of you go to gym, looking around, I think some do, many don't, but if you do, you can cancel a fixed-term contract now on 20 days' notice, which is quite nice to do the cell phone companies, but there is a penalty, but it's quite nominal. They're fixed at 10%. 10% of the contract, so you can cancel. Also with regard to fixed term contracts, if it's automatic renewal, the supplier has got to give not more than 80 and not less than 40 days notice that the contract's coming up for renewal, within which you are then obliged to write and say, no thanks, I now want a new phone and I'm not going to renew this contract. So that's also some help.